Consulting, we believe in making technology available to everyone. And that's why you can count on us for your technology solutions and your team's training needs, from SharePoint to OneNote, Teams, or any of the Microsoft 365 applications. Or maybe you need a technology assessment before committing your budget. In fact, our application audit saved one customer more than $1 million in software expenses. Smarter Consulting is here to help you. We collaborate with the industry's best providers to bring our clients customized solutions that address their unique challenges. We are proud to be a woman-owned small business IT consultancy. And while we're based in Kansas City, also known as the heart of the Silicon Prairie, we've helped clients all over the country. Let's chat about how we can help you. Send us a note at info@smarter-consulting.com.
Hello everyone on Omaha365 Virtual Edition 2020. Today I will talk about search, Microsoft Search, and how to use it effectively in Office 365 and what kind of features we can find inside. Before we start, a few words about me. My name is Marcin Siewnicki. I live in Warsaw, Poland. I work as a Microsoft 365 architect and consultant in ISCG. I'm also one of organizer of SharePoint Saturday Warsaw, and I mainly focus on Microsoft 365, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, and entire modern workplace, and with some automations behind it. If you want to contact me, just you can catch me on LinkedIn, Twitter, or on my website. Okay, let's start. A quick plan for today's session. First, I will talk a little about saving data. Where can we save data in Microsoft 365, but not only. Then we will try to use Microsoft Search and explore some of its hidden features. Then what we can use in SharePoint, so search in SharePoint, and at the end connectors, quite new and still in preview stage, but very powerful feature. Okay, so let's go and start. Saving data. And first point, data. Very important part because we store a lot of different type of data in different places, and we will see where and how we can store data and information inside Microsoft 365. Then Microsoft Search. I will talk and mainly show you how to use it, what we can achieve using Microsoft Search in Office, in Office.com, and we will explore some hidden features in Microsoft Search, and then we will jump to SharePoint Online and try to use search inside SharePoint Online sites, lists, libraries, and at the end connectors. It's still in a preview, but it's very powerful feature, and I will show you how it works and what we can achieve with connectors. Okay, so data. Where can we store information in Microsoft 365? Well, the first choice is SharePoint Online. For me, it's SharePoint Online because I'm a SharePoint guy, so it's very obvious for me. But it's very useful storage for all type of files. We can store a lot of files, multiple types, archives, Office documents, etc. Of course, emails. For many, it's the first choice, emails, because we use it every single day. And if we use Microsoft 365 with Exchange Online, so it's we will store emails inside that service. Teams, quite very popular currently. We can store documents or files inside Teams and chat messages. Files, if we store a file inside Teams, it will be saved in SharePoint Online or in OneDrive for Business, but chats, chat messages and some other information are stored in dedicated storages, but behind the Teams. So Teams is a user interface for all of this information. Then Microsoft Stream. If you want to use Stream capabilities for sharing videos with closed captions, comments, etc., we can use Microsoft Stream and upload videos to that service. Yammer, next service. If we use Yammer, utilize Yammer, so all messages that we save are stored in Yammer service. Then OneDrive for business in this situation, so we can use it directly using OneDrive website or OneDrive application for desktop. But if we send a file or files in personal chat on Teams, then all of those files will be stored in OneDrive for business as well. And then, of course, people. So information about our colleagues, our employees, that stores in Azure Active Directory. And at the end, outside of Microsoft 365, but very important, and so external sources, because it's hard to disconnect external sources and our Microsoft 365 storages, because if we use data, documents, files from Microsoft 365, in example from SharePoint Online, and connect and work of them and share using emails and store some of the parts of those data in our local storages, maybe in dedicated places, it's hard to disconnect those Microsoft environment with external sources. But it's very important because in many cases external sources host much more data than we store in Microsoft 365. Okay, so let's switch to office.com page and let's take a quick tour through these services. Okay, so this is my office.com website. So let's start from Outlook. So emails. So if we send anything or receive an email message, so it's saved in our Exchange mailbox. I will try to send something to Megan. Information about project search. Check this document, please. And I will attach some document. Yes, I must find too many folders. It's maybe this one. Some doc6 and send. So I just sent an email to Megan and it's stored inside my mailbox. So in many cases, this is our main source of information about communication with external world and even internal with colleagues and employees. So using emails, using Exchange Online, you can store emails, information from emails and attachments. That's those two type of data. That's very, maybe seems easy, but if we go to SharePoint, there's something more. And okay, sites, maybe lab. There's my test site, and using SharePoint we can store data in SharePoint list, so some kind of some type of information, tabular information, but we can also store documents. For documents it's quite easy. We can create some structure here using folders, folder 1, and inside that folder I can store additional documents. So I will upload these 3 files, and easy, I can upload a lot of data, a lot of files, and it's stored inside. I can create a huge structure for each of my type of documents, maybe divided into sections. I can also, using SharePoint, I can also add metadata to add some labels, add some tags to my data. That's very important because it's very useful to search using metadata. Okay, that's SharePoint. So I can SharePoint we can use mainly for documents, lists also, but for me it was always a first choice if I want to store documents for projects, for departments, for customers. That's SharePoint. Okay, and next one, Teams. That's very huge and very important because it's some kind of hub, not only hub for teamwork, but hub that connects, not this one, that connects our many of Microsoft 365 services together. So because I have chats, personal chats and channel chats, and I can send files and share and store files. So we must understand how it works. So personal chat, it's a message. I can type something to Megan, and it's stored in hidden Exchange in my mailbox, but it's hidden. I can search these messages using Discover feature inside Microsoft 365, but messages are stored in Exchange technically. If I send a file to Megan, that file will be stored in my OneDrive for business. That's very important. But if I go to Teams and create a new team, I have this one, test project PS11, and I type something here. So this message will be also saved in dedicated place in Exchange. But if I go to files and upload some files, those files will be saved in dedicated SharePoint site collection connected to these teams, to this team. So all files are stored in SharePoint Online or OneDrive for Business. So we can find them or using Teams or directly from SharePoint or OneDrive. Okay, let's go to Yammer, and if you use Yammer, of course, all information all posts or messages that we create will be stored in Yammer. That's pretty easy. We don't use Yammer. Doesn't save anything else outside the service itself. Next one, Stream. We can also save data, information, videos in Microsoft Stream. It's a dedicated service for to hosting videos. we can divide our files into channels and store videos for specific videos in dedicated channels. So it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So we can create some kind of navigation using channels. Next one, OneDrive. Where is my OneDrive here? So it's first choice for my personal files. So I can go there and create folders for my files, create folder structure, upload my files, that my personal files for work, but still personal. And all files that I send using Microsoft Teams in personal chats will be stored there as well. So there's dedicated folder Microsoft Teams chat files, and it's automatically filled with files sent using Teams. And last one, people. So all information about people, about our colleagues, are synced from Azure Active Directory. So all information that we have in where's my Delph? Because it's my Delph, yes, with new icon. Yeah, so all, let's try Megan. Where is Megan? Okay, maybe Christy. So all information about users we sync from Azure Active Directory. So Azure Active Directory is the main place where those data are stored, but some of them we can modify directly from page, from Delph, or different page, different place where we have our user profile. So we can store a lot of data using different type of services, but how about discover? How can I go and find something? Classically, or it's very common behavior, is that we create very complex folder structures for files. So using OneDrive, using SharePoint, or using Teams. So we create folders with subfolders, etc. I create and put a lot of files inside those folders. So it's very complicated. It seems logical, but it's not, because we can quickly lost, and after a few weeks or about 2 months, we won't remember where our files were stored, saved, and we must go and search and go and through folders and subfolder structure. So that's not a good idea to manually go and check specific file for information. If we want to search for some information that we sent or received by email, well, we tend to use the same pattern. So we can easily create folders with subfolders for our customer, each subfolder for different customer, etc. So and to be honest, I was that guy. So a few years ago, I created a lot of folders, subfolders inside Outlook, inside SharePoint, OneDrive, but it wasn't effective. Well, it's not effective. It can't be effective. So what can we do to find information quickly? Because I can store a lot of data, a lot of files, a lot of information, but if we gather all data that our company can store and stores every day, every week, every month, it's huge. It can be huge amount of data and different type of information, and we won't be able to manually go and dig through folders, through sites, through subfolders. It's not possible. So how can we use built-in search capabilities inside Microsoft 365 services. Okay, go back to our slides. And there's, of course, external sources, but it depends on our other resources. So, but I will show you how to get this using search later, because it's also possible. So Microsoft Search. First, go to office.com page, and there's Microsoft Search. There's a nice place, nice bar when we can use to type our query, and we'll get some results. So we can use that search for documents, to find information about documents, to find information that's inside documents, information inside emails, and information about people, so about our colleagues, employees, etc. So switch to yes, this one, no, this one, too many browsers. I will close some of these tabs, maybe this one, this one, this one. Okay, so again, office.com. Nice search bar, and I can type something to search documents. I have some suggestions, so latest files, latest people that I talk with often, and apps that I just used. So I can type project, okay, and it automatically shows if there's any apps for project, sites, files. I can click and other results, so I will be redirected to full search page with tabs for each type of information, with pages. But if I go back to the office.com, so I don't need to switch to the search page to quickly navigate to my results. So if I click, let's say doc 5, so if I click this one 3 hours ago, it will redirect me directly to that specific file. So that's very quickly, very easy to use, and it's pretty fast. So I can type one note for note. I mean note for one note, and it's 2 letters, 2 signs, and it's list full of results. Project I search. I type search, nothing. Yeah, but there's something. And try PDF, PPTX for presentations. So it's very fast. It's I like to use it. I love it. Really, it's so easy, and I can use it, of course, for sites. If I type SharePoint, so I get SharePoint. If I type Megan, so people, I will get the information for that person. So let's start from people card. If I click Megan card, I will get her overview with basic information, so email, chat, link to chat, job title, department, phone, etc., and her place in the organization, files and emails attachment that I share with Megan. And what's very nice, I will get emails that I will send or receive from Megan directly from search from office.com, so I don't need to switch to my Outlook anymore. There's also LinkedIn. If I click LinkedIn, it will try to, first I will need to connect, but it will try to search LinkedIn for Megan profile. Oh, that's very nice. There's contact, so detailed contact information with hobbies, skills, etc. There's also organization tab with detailed organization place, files. Very nice feature. I get here all files that I share with Megan and we work together. I have also additional filters and drop down to filter data that I need. And emails. I have dedicated tab for emails that I sent to Megan, and this is the last one that I sent her a few minutes ago. And of course LinkedIn profile, but I'm not connected, so I won't check this feature. I can also directly send her email to Megan directly from this or start chat using of course Microsoft Teams, but that's additional features. Let's focus only on searching information. That's all. That's basics. It's very, very nice. Okay, close, and then I will share PPTX. Okay, and if I click, it will get me to the full search page. So I have a filters here, so I can filter using available filters. If it's known file type, so I will get, in this case, PowerPoint, so I will get some small thumbnail. If there's small arrow here, and so I can enlarge that one, so I get some information, description if it's available. If not, simply click. There's also a path to that file, so this is in project PS1, so somewhere in SharePoint, but I know that's SharePoint connected to Teams. And if maybe a different one, maybe this one, if I click this, it will point me to a new tab with presentation from this time from Ignite. Okay, so, but I have also tabs here. So I have dedicated tab for files, so it will show me only files, sites, so no sites for PPTX. So that's people for people, of course, news for news, and additional tabs are reserved for connectors. I will talk about that later. Okay, so let's go back here. And there's also, if I type Power, so I will get also quick links to applications. So Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate. If I click PowerPoint, it will point me directly to PowerPoint Online, and I can start working on new presentation. So that's very handy. Okay, and so we don't need to go to the SharePoint Online, to OneDrive, to Teams to find specific file. If we know its name or content that we're looking, it's much faster to use search than going and searching through and clicking through directories. Or okay, if we have a shortcut on desktop, that's okay, but let's try use search because it's very, very fast and it's easy to use. But that's not all. It's great, great enhancement from previous versions. So it's faster, auto suggestions, etc. But that's not all. That's a lot more. So what we have here, admin. I will go to Admin Center, and there's a dedicated section for search in Settings, Microsoft Search. And what's inside? Wow. First, answers section where we can define acronyms. So I create a RPA, so we can create acronyms, and those acronyms will be, we can search, or we can use, we can find using search. So I can try, let's say, RPA was BPM, so business process management, or whatever type description, source, and published. It's easy as that. Then we have bookmarks. That's very, very powerful and fantastic feature in my opinion, because I can create a bookmark. So let's go here and create a bookmark for our internal application, for invoices, for holidays, etc., or our dedicated website for our customer or customer portal. Let's say customer portal. Then I must provide customer portal contoso.com, but that doesn't matter, and keywords. See portal maybe. There's an option to automatically match similar keywords, so it's very handy. I can define additional details here, so when it's available, groups, variations, devices, etc. So I can publish this. And if I go back to my search and try to use customer portal, so I got this nice pane with customer portal and direct URL to this portal. So I can create the bookmarks for my internal tools, external tools, etc., and use search to find them. I don't need an internal portal and a specific page to host this kind of information. That's very, very useful, but that's not all. If I go here and create some bookmark, there's also a power up section, and I must provide power up ID with and height. So I must check it in my power up. I can save it then, and I have this already created one. So I provide my power up ID with additional with keywords, so risk assessment app or risk or AA, and with URL. It will point me somehow to my power up application. Okay, I have this URL that sounds fine. So let's check it, how it works. Let's say this RAA. So this risk assessment app. So I use that shortcut, and great, I have a URL. So if I click, it should point me to my app. But that's not all. I have this automatically generated screen from my app, and if I click launch, it will launch my app inside or on top of that, on top of Microsoft Search, on top of office.com page. So I'm not redirected anywhere. And just click, and it's fully working. Yeah, I can add risk, new risk. Yes, quickly add some and save. And it's here. So it's fully working power up display on top of Microsoft Search. So for me, it's fantastic. So I don't need to create dedicated place, dedicated sites, pages, etc. For my Power Apps applications, for business applications, I can create this bookmark, and employees will be able to use it directly from here to check quickly, launch, check, add some risk, add some holiday request, etc., and leave, go to work. Very, very easy and powerful, very powerful for me. So for me, that's killer feature. Go back to our search admin center. So bookmarks, great. But there's also a Q&A section. Okay, what's inside? I can see some questions, answers. So we can create questions and answers using search, and so we must provide some title, so question, URL to answer for that question, of course, keywords that we will use to search, and save it. And then if I use, let's say, DWG, if I use that in search, it should show me that this question with answer. So let's try DWG. Oh yeah, it works. So how do I create or edit the DWG file? Wow, okay. And with direct URL to Microsoft.com for details. Seems great. So we can easily create question and answers and use and search for answers, search for that questions directly using Microsoft Search. So I don't need to create dedicated place again for Q&A, but I can use search. So it will be globally available and ready to use for everyone using search. So very powerful, but that's not all. If we can of course import bookmarks, import Q&A, export, so we can upload them in bulk mode, but there's also a dedicated plugin for Chrome and for Edge. I use Chrome, so I will show it using Chrome. It's called Microsoft Search Content Creator. And what it does. It has two sections, Q&A and add bookmark. If I go here and docs, Microsoft.com, manage floor plans, yes. And using that plugin, I can quickly, this plugin read current page, and so I can add this page as a bookmark. So it's name, URL, description, automatically detect keywords, etc. Good feature to add something if we work or if we're responsible for adding bookmarks. And there's Q&A section. It will automatically detect any question with answer on that page. So there's Q&A section at the bottom of the page. And I can go through questions. Let's say, where is Alan? How do I view? And that was best format. Oh, can I use DWG file that doesn't include floor number? I can simply click. Okay, that's already existing 9. Okay, this one. When the upload is complete, you must something. Then I can click publish. Done. I must refresh that page. Yeah, just now I've just added a new Q&A using the Chrome plugin, Chrome extension. So that's very powerful, easy to use plugin. If we are responsible for adding content, adding Q&As, bookmarks, great feature. Automatically find keywords, suggest keywords, format text if needed. Great feature, so we can use it to create easy to use Q&As and bookmarks. But there's also locations feature and floor plans. For locations, we create locations for our company, buildings, offices, etc. with detailed addresses. And in using floor plans, we can map floor plans with our employees. So I can go to my I can use it using some CAD application or using Visio. If I add, or it's not visible, yeah. So I can go there and simply add some text field. Yeah, here, and type, let's say, okay, so some building number and floor number with room number. Save this as DWG and upload it to my Microsoft Search Admin Center. I have already created one. Yes. So I must upload DWG file with labels, and it will automatically map. Currently I have only one mapped, so this is Megan Office. And so create an office map with numbers, with labels, and each employee must have set this room number in Azure Active Directory. So it must be matched, and then it will automatically create me a map. To do this, I need at least 10 mapped rooms. I have only one, so it not works. It doesn't work here, but if I go there and search for Megan, there's an office location. So if I add at least 10 rooms and map those 10 rooms with employees, it will be active. And if I click that one, it will show me that map with place where Megan works. So that's pretty nice, very nice feature. So that's okay. So we can create acronyms, bookmarks, Q&As, and use location and floor plans to provide some information about, info about where specific employees works, where is his desk. If you have many or multiple buildings, multiple offices, it's very handy feature. Okay, go back to slide. So office.com, you can search documents, emails, people, and of course we will see only those information that we will have access to. Acronyms, bookmarks, Q&A, and locations. For me, bookmarks and QA, very fantastic features, and bookmarks and power-ups in bookmarks, killer feature. Wow, that's really fantastic and works very well. Amazing and pretty fast. And for some of services we have specific search for. If you want to search Yammer, well, you should go to Yammer. If you want to search for our information that we store in chats in Teams, we should go to Teams. But in Teams we mostly work on everyday basis, so it's some kind of virtual desktop, so it's easy to use it. We don't need to switch from Teams to search and back, but some services have dedicated search services for its content. But Microsoft from time to time adds some new features. Well, in fact it's from month to month some new features added, so it's very fast growth. And search in SharePoint Online, of course. So what we have here, current site. So if we go to SharePoint site and use search feature, so we'll be querying the current SharePoint site. And the same if we use SharePoint tab, SharePoint bar on specific document library or SharePoint list. So go to our SharePoint. Okay. And this is my HR site collection, and I have this search bar at the top of the site. And let's try to find something. Let's say PPTX. Okay, I have some data here in HR site. Great. If I find Megan, there's also information about documents created by Megan on this site. And if I try to find, let's say, Doc 5, and it's show me the document directly from this HR site. So my scope is limited only to this site collection, so to this HR. So it works the same as before, but with this quick and auto suggestions and very smooth interface. But what happened? Too far. I go to site content and open my document library and my nope, not that one. Sorry. It should be there. Yep. So I have my HR events SharePoint list and my document library, or my docs library. So very similar as before. My scope currently is limited only to this library. So if I find doc, it automatically filter my list. It won't show me dedicated page, but filter my current document library. 5, only one name, but it also check it for content. So if I go to my project, I know that there's no project, but no, but this one should be, yes, Lorem Ipsum is definitely inside. So I can quickly filter document library, and the same for list. So if I use the workshop, good, and it filter my list for and shows me only elements with workshop. And using this search bar, I can quickly navigate or quickly filter my lists, my libraries, or find content in my SharePoint site. So it's using SharePoint search. We are limited to current site collection or current list or current library. If we need global search, we should go to SharePoint to main page or to using office.com. Okay, let's quickly switch to our slides. So that's for SharePoint, but there's one more thing to talk about: connectors, because you can have a lot of data outside Microsoft 365, outside Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, Exchange, etc. And we need to connect those data to our environment and to use search directly from Microsoft 365 to find something, find some information that's stored outside Microsoft environment. So we can use connectors, and these features, so connectors are in preview mode currently. What we got? We have 6 ready-to-use connectors made by Microsoft and much more from partners. So let's go to use connectors. We should go to Microsoft Search Admin Center, and there's dedicated connectors tab. Currently I have only 2 connectors, but if I want to add new, okay, not 6 but 7, my mistake, sorry. So you can connect to website, to Azure SQL, to ServiceNow, to even to file share using data gateway, to SQL Server on-premise, and to MediaWiki and or ADL Gene 2. But so that's only 6. But where where are partners, where are those connectors from partners. I will show you later, but to configure, we can simply go and click this one. We must provide additional information like ID, name, schema or modification to schema, etc. And when it's ready, we must publish the connector, and we can go for this one website. We can go here and check it's already created, but it's not, it didn't scan my website, so it won't search anything and it won't return any results yet. But if I create this custom connector, configure it and add to my search, I can go to customization tab and create result type. So because my search must know that this type is from my connector, and then I can create a vertical for this search element, and using types I can modify, or I can using dedicated layout designer for search. If I click here, it will point me to very simple designer. I can use this type. This type, get started. So I can modify this one. I can edit layout. It based and it uses the same schema as adaptive cards, so it's the same JSON schema. So we can use, if we know how to modify adaptive cards, we can simply and quickly modify or create new layouts for custom layouts in Microsoft Search. And then we have to copy the JSON notation here, JSON file into this box, and publish this. And when the content will be crawled, we will be able to search our custom connectors using our custom connectors, our external data. So if this cover it, there's this ISCG website vertical. It won't work because there's no data and it's not propagated. It requires some time, but it will. If it's finished, it will be. It will show me data from my external website, from my ISCG website, and display it in the way I prefer. A few words about the connectors from Microsoft partners. As you can see on the Microsoft page, there's 6 or 7, should be 7 connectors made by Microsoft, so they are ready to use, and a lot of connectors made by partners. Okay, we can quickly search, and there's connector for Jira Cloud, that's good. For file shares, Facebook Workplace, but Google Drive, Docs, Jira is used for Jira. Okay, where's Lotus Notes, MySQL, Microsoft Yammer, and many more. If I would like to go for this Jira, where is Jira? Jira is for Atlassian Jira Cloud. So more details. Okay, great. There's description. And if I want a trial or demo, so I must contact with that specific partner. So it's not available on connectors page. So I must go and contact with specific partner to get information how to enable, how to turn on this specific connector. So it's not free, not straightforward to use it. But it's there, and probably the list will be bigger and bigger because it's very powerful feature and allows us to connect to, well, in fact, everywhere. Okay, and quickly go back to slides. And you custom layouts. And that's all for today's sessions. I hope that you enjoyed it and find something useful. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for attending my session. See ya and stay safe. Bye.